they are taking full advantage. It's not the Hamiltons giving up a heck of a lot of yardage against teams. It's just that all the teams have capitalized on opportunities.
Ben Zambiasi has had a tough season. He's missed several games, and I suppose the consistency and the cohesiveness in the Tiger Cat defensive unit has been affected by that.
It sure has. It seems like the linebacking core has changed every week with Leo Ezrins, Frank Robinson, Ed Gadavakis and company. Those fellas, it doesn't seem like they've ever had that continuity all year long.
First down, Calgary at the Tiger Cat 52. This is Tim Petros. When he gets ahead of steam up, he moves. Good yardage, stopped by Les Brown. We saw Petros a couple of weeks ago have an outstanding game here at McMahon Stadium.
He really has played well this year, averaging 4 yards a carry every time he touches the football. For your fullback, that's tremendous. He gets a great lead block from number 23, Gary Allen. And that's on number 41, Everett Parker, the newcomer to the linebacking core. And that was just a tremendous block. Stampeders, nice drive.
16-yard gain, Calgary with a first down at the Ticat 35. Tim Petros once more, not quite as much that time. Stopped by Johnny Lewis. A gain of 4.
Brought out by Johnny Lewis.
Tough receiving core tonight. They really miss Larry Willis. He is dressed and he might play a little bit, but you know, we told you, Emmanuel Tolbert, the big gun. The other three really have not produced very much. Jerry Gordon, number 82 at wide receiver, only playing his second game of the season.
2nd and 7. This is Gary Allen. Big yards for Allen. He might score. Gary Allen into the end zone. Stampeders take the lead. Great run. A 31-yard touchdown. The Stampeders very effective along the ground. That drive is almost all running.
Great blocking by number 57, Bob Foley, and the right guard, Tom Spallettini. They open a huge hole. Gary Allen with a nice cut to get around Les Brown, and what an impressive opening start for the Stampeders. The end around to Tolbert. A good run by Petros, and now the exciting draw play by Gary Allen for the touchdown. Boy, they made it look easy, John.
4 plays, Leaf, in the touchdown drive, all along the ground. Calgary in front of the Tiger Cats 6-3, 11:46 to play in the opening quarter.
I know coming into the football game, they do lead the Canadian Football League in total rushing, so it's not surprising that's an area they would like to try and establish early. The thing that is surprising is the Hamilton Ticat defense is the toughest in the league to run against. Hamilton only giving up about 74 yards a game rushing. They've given up pretty near that in the first quarter here.
Coming into this game, J.T. Haygood on 340 straight converts in the CFL. Make it 341.
First attempt is good. A gain of touchdown. Gary Allen, the 32.
So the Calgary Stampeders into a 4-point lead on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Cats scored first. The Stampeders came roaring right back.
Nothing can stop the Canadian team and Karen Percy from winning in Calgary. Help Gillette light their fires. For each 6-item official ski team travel kit you buy.
Green, number 38, he stops the play inside. And this Calgary defense, of course, had a rough start themselves this year. Did not play very well, and now in the past, since Herrick once again taking over, has tried to solidify this defense. They're, of course, still 7th in the league in total defense, so that's not that great, but consider the poor start they got off to. I think they've done pretty well in the last few games.
That's Bernie Morrison down on the turf near midfield. Apparently okay.
Have a look at Gerald Harris. You know, only a couple of days in camp and a little trouble handling that football, but ran into really his old man, the left guard, number 58, Jason Riley.
This will be 2nd and 10. Jackson, first down territory, out across the 55. Stopped by Bruce Green.
That's pretty good defense by the Stampeders. You know, he decided to sit back in his zone and force them to dump the football off to the running back. Now, that's okay if you can come up and support and make the tackle short of the first down. I don't believe they were able to do so, though. It's very close. Aha.
Very close, indeed.
Well, Porras makes the right read. You know, you can't force the ball in downfield if there's nobody open, and he dumps it off to Steve Jackson, number 74, and inches away. Should be no problem for Tom Porras to pick up the first down.
The Ticats run across midfield.
Used to bring Kenny Hobart in off the bench to run these third down quarterback sneaks, but I guess they feel Tom Porras is big enough to do it on his own.
He only needs inches. And a Tiger Cat first down to keep the drive alive for Tom Porras. His fifth start, or his ninth start rather. He has 5 wins and 3 losses, and it's really been a bit of a mystery, the Hamilton Tiger Cat quarterbacking situation at times this year. Porras has not been hot all season, but he has moved the football team as well as anybody.
I think the three of them, Mike Kerrigan, Kenny Hobart, and Tom Porras, are all a little bit frustrated because it's very difficult to be in and out of the lineup. You have to feel like you're the starting quarterback to be able to take charge, and frustration has set in for those fellows occasionally.
On 1st and 10, Porras has a first down, yards to spare as he connects with Steve Stapler. And Stapler inside the 30.
Stapler
made a great move to get by Ronnie Hopkins, number 15, the left cornerback. And Ronnie Hopkins is really having a tremendous year. In fact, voted the outstanding defensive player in the Schenley balloting for the Calgary Stampeders. But Steve Stapler, he is well having an outstanding season. Only needs 6 more catches to tie Rocky DiPietro's record of 86 on the season.
Richie Hall being attended to by Pat Clayton, who heads the Stampeder training staff.
Your entry coupon is on.
Old friend of ours is in the broadcast booth watching the game with us tonight. John Jack Cotto, former coach of the Calgary Stampeders and a number of other clubs in the CFL. In fact,
a number. I'm just trying to think. There was Ottawa and Saskatchewan and Calgary. Jocko, welcome aboard.
It's just great to be here and get out of the weather and watch a good football game. These are 2 good football teams. It'll be interesting to see if they can go in and make a score here.
Brings to mind with Richie Hall down in the field. You actually brought Richie Hall, Ronnie Hopkins, and Larry Hogue all at the same time to the Calgary Stampeders 5 years ago.
Yeah, and we protected that year Peterson too, so I feel really familiar with those athletes that are playing for Calgary tonight. It'll be interesting. I just think that Stapler is one of the premium receivers we've seen in this league for the last 4 or 5 years. He's just having a great year. I enjoy watching him.
Well, there are the numbers on Steve Stapler, and he would really like, as he told me today, to try and catch Brian Kelly tonight.
Not much room for Gerald Harris on 1st and 10. Vince Goldsmith, 78 for the Stampeders. Stood him up. 9:16 to play, opening quarter. It is the Stampeders in front of the Tiger Cats, 7-3.
Stapler coming into the game 76 yards behind Brian Kelly. Of course, with that 26-yard reception, now 50. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that and tell you how that goes.
2nd and 9. Porras swings it out to Jackson. Jackson will have the first down. He made a good move near the 17-yard line. Stopped by Larry Hogue, 14.
Made a great
13-yard pickup.
Sorry, John. He made a great move on number 38, Bruce Green, coming up to support. And there, you know, and once again, the same kind of situation. 2nd and long, Calgary back in the zone, expecting to come up and make the tackle. But Steve Jackson absolutely makes a super move right here around number 38, Bruce Green, and he picks up first down. And give Tom Porras credit. You know, you like to answer a touchdown with a touchdown. He's put together a good drive.
1st and 10, Ticats to the end zone. No catch. No catch for Tony Champion. And Jacques Chapdelaine is incensed.
Now the official right on the spot. If he cannot make the correct call with that viewpoint that he had, I'd be very surprised. Have a look at it here. Tony Champion makes a good effort to catch the football. Watch the feet now as he comes down. No question about that. About 6 inches out of bounds. Excellent call.
Larry Hogue covering on the play. 2nd and 10. Ticats from the 11. Porras looks to the end zone. An easy 6 points for Rocky DiPietro. DiPietro's 7th touchdown of the season, a 12-yarder from Tom Porras.
Pretty funny situation there. Calgary had been sitting back on 2nd and long. That time they decided to force with the blitz, and usually when you play man-to-man coverage behind that, it looks as almost though they sat in a zone coverage with a blitz, and that's kind of a tough combination. Rocky DiPietro found an open area, and that's about the easiest touchdown he'll catch all year. But Had to be some kind of mistake, because when you blitz, boy, you got to go man-to-man, and it looked as though they tried to fool Hamilton with his own.
Porras holding for Derek Noble. And he's had a Noble debut. He's been perfect so far. 1 field goal, 1 convert.
Great line with Tom Porras. He certainly read the coverage perfectly. Hits Rocky DiPietro, and Hamilton Ticats are right back in this one.
Right back into it and into the lead on the Calgary Stampeders at McMahon Stadium. 8:01 to play in the opening quarter. It is Hamilton in front by 3.
Hockey fans could never agree on who was a better skater, me or Gordie Howe.
87 has been heaven.
Oh, I'll be out to sea at the end of the month, and we'll do a little skiing together.
Sounds like a tough life, Jocko.
Great. It's been a great life.
Well, nice to see you again, and all the best.
Okay.
Well, we'll see if Rick Warman can answer. Tom Porras. Good field position, Stampeders. They begin at their 52. Tim Petros. He's a tough runner. Close to 5.
Well, there's Wally Buono, the former linebacker with the Montreal Alouettes, and of course he's in charge of the linebackers and defensive line. Lamont Jeffers. Matt Finley's number 37, and that injury to Bernie Morrison, he has been in the ball game.
Been a tough football game so far. Lots of injuries. Grover Covington is the latest on the turf. And that would really hurt the Tiger Cats if this is serious. They've had to make adjustments along that line several times this year.
You know, John, all you ask for is consistency in a football player, and Grover Covington is an all-Canadian. Last year was 16, with 18 sacks last year, has 16 this year. That's pretty good. See what happens as he rides Tim Petros down to the ground. His own player, number 31, Zambiazzi, kind of clips the ankle a little bit.
Maybe get him on the knee. 41.
Everett Parker.
Well, it doesn't look like it hurts so much when it's slowed down. Got a pretty good booster club going here in Calgary with a lot of the University of Calgary students coming from really just across the parking lot here. Dan Hucklack shaken up earlier, but he's been back in the game. 2nd and 5 Stampeders. Warman has not thrown a pass so far tonight. Gary Allen was hit hard and stopped short of a first down, but close.
Oh, Ben Zambiazzi, number 31, the middle linebacker, made the perfect read. He just came in off tackle, read the play perfectly, but couldn't come up with the hit on Gary Allen. You know, you really expect that and hope to get that from your middle linebacker. When you don't, you're in big trouble. Tim Petros with the lead block on the outside, and there's Zambiazzi in perfect position, just cannot make the play.
That brings up 3rd down. The Ticat defense will try and hold the Stampeders offense to less than a yard. It is 3rd down, less than a yard to go. Easily across, Tim Petros for a first down and no flags. Zambiazzi there to lead the tacklers once more. That could be a pretty good duel for the evening. Petros, the big fullback, against Zambiazzi in the middle.
Tim Petros, you know, really has had to make a transition since he came into the Canadian Football League. When he was with the University of Calgary Dinosaurs, I mean, he was the big shooter on that team. He was their big rushing leader. Now, of course, he's had to change. He's mainly the blocking back for speedy Gary Allen, and he's done a great job making that transition.
Warman will throw his first pass of the night, and he shouldn't have. Picked off easily by Paul Bennett, the Tiger Cat safety. 2nd turnover for the Stampeders. Leaf, it looked like a missed pattern somehow or other, because Bennett was standing there and waiting. 25-yard return.
They ran a crossing pattern, and really the pattern wasn't that bad. It was just a very poorly thrown ball by Rick Warman. He overshot everybody, and Paul Bennett has an easy one.
6th interception of the season for Paul Bennett. The Stampeders turn it over on Rick Warman's first pass of the night in Calgary. It's been a good one so far. 5:38 to play in the opening quarter. 2nd turnover of the night right here.
Rick Warman's first pass of the game, really a poor effort. Trying to hit Emmanuel Tolbert over the middle on the crossing pattern and simply overthrew everybody, and Paul Bennett playing the deep center field, which you're supposed to do as a middle safety. Has an easy one. Hard to believe Paul Bennett's been around for 10 seasons, 3 of those with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and at one point tied for the league lead 3 years ago with Les Brown for the interception lead.
Has a CFL record, most punt return yardage in his career. They've taken him off that squad this year, though. He's not back on punt returns.
He's slowed down a touch, 10 years. That's going to happen to a guy, but still a good player.
First down, Ticats. Forrest gets it out to Steve Jackson. He's been effective tonight, close to a first down.
Forrest complete to Steve Jackson.
Stopped by Ron Hopkins.
A gain of about 8 yards on the play.
He's been with the club for a couple of years now, and the backup fullback to Dan Hucklack, and with the injury now he's getting a chance to play. They run the screen, they set it up well. He gets a block out from Jason Riley, number 58, around the corner. Can't get the block on Bernie Morrison, but nevertheless, excellent yardage on first down. And Tom Porras has had a pretty hot hand here in the first quarter.
Out across midfield, the Tiger Cats face 2nd and 1. And they get a first down. Gerald Harris.
Gerald Harris on the carry.
And he was met in there by Stu Laird, 75. But the Ticats get what they wanted from Harris, a first down.
Offense really has not been a problem for the Ticats this year. They rank 2nd in the Canadian Football League in that department. Their problem has been scoring. They've been able to get themselves in scoring position so many times, but have thrown an interception or had a fumble or something has gone wrong, and that's been their problem. Hasn't been moving the football. They've done that with no problem at all.
A Ticat first down. 10 to go at the 52 of Calgary. Harris once more for a couple.
Well, he tried to trap Stu Laird, number 75, the defensive tackle that time, with Jason Riley. And Stu Laird made a great play to fight off the block and hold that to a 2-yard gain.
Another of the Tiger Cat newcomers, Keith Stanbury, a rookie out of Oklahoma.
They had him ranked as the 2nd best defensive back in college in the United States in 1984 in a car accident. Tore up both knees, and that hurt him. He was out for a couple of years.
On 2nd down, the catch made by Tony Champion. And another Ticat first down as Porras keeps the drive alive. The Ticats lead at 10-7 with 3:28 to play in the opening quarter. 12 yards.
With both Tony Champion and Steve Stapler at your outside receivers, you always look to their averages, and you hope your wide receivers are the speed guys that have that big average. Stapler's over 18, Champion's over 16, and I think that's key. These guys both have blinding speed. Corners have to respect them, and a guy like Larry Hogue, who has not played out there a lot, is going to have to watch him closely.
On 1st and 10, Porras to the far side, bounced it once. Intending it for Jacques Chapdelaine.
Porras intended for Chapdelaine. Richie Hall.
Chapdelaine has 35 receptions coming into the night, 385 yards, and 1 touchdown. And the numbers aren't all that big, but he hasn't played all that frequently. I think he's had a reasonable season.
Of course, he wouldn't play if Earl Winfield was healthy,
but he played a little bit for Rocky DiPietro when he was hurt as well.
Right.
2nd and 10. Ticats, the Stampeder 36. Porras goes long to the end zone, a flag down, and it's caught, touchdown, but there is a flag down. Steve Stapler, it might be holding against the Tiger Cats, and it'll come back.
Oh, what a shame that is. That was a tremendous catch by Steve Stapler. We'll listen to the call, and I wouldn't want to be the offensive lineman that gets tagged for this one.
The flags were down quickly, and the call was made quickly. They march it back against the Tiger Cats.
That's a tough break for Tom Forrest and Steve Stapler. Here's a guy in the last game of the season. He's fighting for a receiving yardage lead in the league, and he makes an outstanding play to get him behind Larry Hogue. Great concentration. Would have been his 13th touchdown catch of the year, but unfortunately it's all called back. Team game. It's a killer sometimes.
It'll be 2nd and 20, Tiger Cats. Back now to the Calgary 46. Intended that time for Steve Stapler.
Intended for Stapler, Larry Hogue.
Peterson was there, number 24, Greg Peterson, also covering Larry Hogue.
Larry Hogg, had he been really watching the ball a little closer, would have had an interception easily, but he was watching Stapler where he was going.
Stampeders providing a grand piano with the Red and White Club this season.
Well, Ruoff was punting at a 40.3-yard clip. Everybody else has been less than that, and now we'll find out exactly what young Derek Noble is about. His first punt in the CFL. Good on his first field goal and his first convert. Not a bad punt, really. Richie Hall.
44-yard look by Noble.
A 43-yarder. That's not a bad way to begin for Derek Noble up from the junior Tiger Cats.
He's a strong guy, and I had a quick chat with him in the locker room tonight before the game. At 6'6", 241. I mean, he's huge. The biggest kicker I've ever seen in my life.
Usually the kickers are a little more of the slender variety, like Kenny Clark and guys like that. Well, Noble moves to the top of the list, but don't forget that's average, and Ruoff punted 93 times. First and 10. Stampeders just outside the 10. Gary Allen, the ball carrier. A gain of 3. Mike Walker led the Ticat tacklers.
Rob Skillman on the tackle.
Young Noble's in a tough spot, though, isn't he, heading into this game? One game of practice before the playoffs begin, if in fact he is the Tiger Cat kicker when they meet Toronto next week.
Well, the one thing about him, though, as he said earlier in the CFL report, he's been with the team on the practice roster for a year and a half, so he knows the guys, so it's not that foreign for him.
Wellman completed to Tolbert. He dropped the football. Ben Zambaziazzi has it.
I want you to say his name 3 times as fast as you can.
I likely won't be able to say it now.
You know what? It was Keith Stanbury who made the big plays. Zambiazzi was going to get the fumble recovery, but Stanbury, the newcomer, and of course we were really interested to see how he played tonight. The second-rated defensive back, 1984 from Oklahoma. Tolbert makes the catch, but Stanbury times it perfectly. There's the hit. No question about it. It's a fumble, and Ben Zambiazzi is there for the recovery. And once again, Ticats have a turnover deep in Calgary territory.
First and 10, Ticats at the 27. DiPietro, touchdown. Second of the night for Rocky DiPietro. And the Tiger Cats convert quickly on a turnover. Ben Zambiazzi recovered the fumble. And Porras right on the money for Rocky DiPietro.
Well, we suggested that they were going to work in that area. It's double coverage between Greg Peterson and Lamont Jeffers. Rocky DiPietro just simply outruns Jeffers, and Peterson's a little late getting there. We told you that was an area that they could have some success at, and already in the first quarter, they've come up with a big touchdown.
Noble adds one more to the Tiger Cat total. Derek Noble, 2 converts, a field goal, and a 43-yard punt in his CFL debut. And there's the guy who made it happen. Ben Zambiazzi. I've got it again. Zambiazzi.
Just call this guy
new in the league, isn't he?
Call him Ben for a while. Just forget about it. The Big B. Well, you know, we talk about him whenever we talk about the Hamilton defense, and he is the leader. There's no question about it. The University of Georgia veteran.
Here's what Ben did.
Well, it was a great hit on Tolbert and Zambiazzi there to make the fumble recovery. The second time now that the Ticats have been the recipients of a Calgary turnover deep in their own territory, and of course it's resulted in 10 points for them. They lead the Stampeders 17-7.
Derek Noble will kick to Andy McVeigh or Ron Hopkins. This time it'll be Hopkins. Into heavy traffic near the 35.
56 yards on the kickoff.
Urban Parker, another Tiger Cat newcomer, number 41, making the stop.
Gets about 16 yards up to the 35. David Solway on the stop. First and 10, Calgary.
Stampeders begin at the 35, trailing 17-7 with 42 seconds left in the opening quarter. Turnovers have cost them dearly. 3 on the night, 1 touchdown and a field goal, the direct result. Warman for Tolbert, and it's picked off again, pulled down by Stanberry. Warman looked to have made the catch, but Stanberry came up with the football, and he's down to the 22. Gary Allen made the tackle. The Ticats look playoff ready, Lee.
They really do, John. Opportunistic on defense, and the Calgary Stampeders, on the other hand, look like they looked early in the year, where turnovers were really the story in all of their football games. And this has been the case here in the first quarter. Tolbert, a catchable football, and very opportunistic once again. Keith Stanberry, a couple of big plays, 2 sequences in a row for him.
The return is 33 yards. Porras directly to the end zone. And fired that one a little high for Tony Champion. Ron Hopkins was covering.
Keith Stanberry's a good size, too. 6 foot, 202 pounds, and that's what you like to see. They're playing the zone defense, and they all squeeze in on the football when it's in the air. They make a good play. Paul Bennett comes in with the hit. Stanberry with the tip drill, and you know, had he not had that awful car accident in 1984 where he tore up both his knees, he would have been a definite first-round draft choice in the NFL. And quite frankly, Mike McCarthy, their player personnel director, said it cost this young man a lot of money.
2nd and 10. Ticats at the Stampeder 22. Should be the last play of the opening quarter. Porras looks to the end zone, comes up a little short, but Steve Stapler has the catch at the 2.
Oh, what a great catch by Stapler on the last play of the first quarter. He makes a super play, and Hamilton once again knocking at the door.
The Ticats with a 10-point lead on the Calgary Stampeders. Porras has been red hot first quarter.
Really shows you why Steve Stapler's had such a tremendous year. That's a great catch on Greg Peterson over the middle. Nicely done, and once again, Hamilton, after the turnover, is going to add to their lead.
Hobart in at quarterback for the Tiger Cats for this sequence. Short yardage situation. Gerald Harris going nowhere. Stampeder defense came up with a big play. First quarter numbers. Net yards 144 for the Tiger Cats compared to 106 for Calgary. Again, the bottom line, 4 turnovers for the Stampeders.
You know, traditionally, your first quarter is your slowest quarter offensively, and 144 yards is a great way to start the game. Keith Stanberry, they really want to have a close look at him tonight because they've got some decisions to make next week for that game, that playoff game in Toronto. And Stanberry with some tremendous credentials. You know, at one time he was about a 4.5 40, but with those 2 knee injuries now he's about a 4.75. So he has lost some speed, but if he can make up with some smarts, you know, that goes a long way too.
Hard-hitting ball game. Skillman is the latest player injured, number 59.
Todd Skillman, of course, coming in as a blocking tight end in this goal line situation. Gerald Harris, the young running back, had an opportunity there to really hit up in hard to the line, and I just didn't feel like he had that explosion coming in there. And of course, when you're a couple of yards away from getting a touchdown, you know, you would think you would really try and bust your tail to get in there. It just didn't look like he had that explosiveness.
Covington and Solvay on the sidelines. The Ticats are at the Stampeder 2-yard line, 2nd and goal to go. You can see what happened to Skillman here. You're right, Lee. He really didn't have...
Well, there wasn't a heck of a lot of running room in his defense, but it just looked as though like he was kind of hesitating, and you really can't do that when you're getting close to the goal line. You have to, you know, really try it, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a free lane into the end zone. You're going to have to run over somebody. You can't block everybody.
Covington was shaken up earlier. He'll be back. Porras back at quarterback, looking for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Can't get it. Good coverage on Tony Champion. Larry Hogue.
That's great defense. You know, you run a pass pattern where you go down about 10 yards and stop. You hope the defensive back with his back turned, the quarterback can't see the ball coming, but Larry Hogue, he watches the eyes of Tony Champion, and as soon as those eyes start to get a little bigger, that's when he turns and makes his move, and that's super defense. Can't play it any better than that.
The Ticats will settle for 3 as Derek Noble comes in. His 2nd field goal try of the night. Good on his first. This from 10 yards away. Noble is on the money. And the Ticats move out in front of the Calgary Stampeders. by 13.
59 remaining in quarter number 2. The Ticats 20, Stampeders 7.
Early in the second quarter, Hamilton in front of Calgary, 20-7. Lots of scoring action at McMahon Stadium so far tonight.
First came Gillette's legendary Track 2 Twin Blade. Now there's Track 2 Plus. Advanced lubricant.
Lonely spot, but he showed you why he is a good athlete, though. He read this play perfectly, and that's a tremendous play.
The pass was on the money, if not maybe a little slow in getting there.
Well, Wellesley, it's only early in the second quarter, and already I'm in trouble. You only gave me one game to pick this week, and I'm getting murdered right off the
You're
bat.
down by 13, and we weren't even talking point spreads or anything.
Oh.
Even money. Long way to go. Andy McVeigh on the return. The Ticats special teams have been covering kickoff returns well so far. Johnny Lewis led the way that time, number 69.
Yards on the return. Johnny Lewis.
There's our good friend Ray Jones, the fine trainer of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Rod Skillman receiving some attention. Of course, Rod picked up that injury on the short yardage play. He was their starting defensive end tonight. With the Ticats for 4 years.
Rick Warman, 1 of 3, 17 yards, 2 interceptions. He had one drive to score the Stampeder touchdown, kept it on the ground, and worked it very effectively. On first down this time, has a strike.
Warman complete to Jerry Gordon.
Jerry Gordon, number 82.
11 yards.
Jerry Gordon's an interesting story. Played his first game for the Stampeders last week. Had one catch for 27 yards, and they wanted to see what he could do, but he got thrown out of the game for fighting. So they had to wait another week. He's the all-time leading receiver in Grambling college history. It's a pretty good school for receivers. There's Rick Johnson. He's having a look. I heard speculation that he could come back for the playoffs.
Larry Willis, close to the first down. It has been a tough year for Rick Johnson, but if they had Warman and Johnson for the playoffs, I think they'd be a little happier than Warman and Carl Fodor.
Did you not hear something about that yesterday? Rick Johnson could maybe come back for the playoffs?
Somebody was talking about it at the news.
Only if they get to the final, I understand. That's correct. Larry Willis, some question to whether he would play at all tonight. Wearing the flak jacket, he's got the bad ribs, but Larry Koharic said he would like to work him into the lineup. He's their nomination as MVP for the year, and Larry Willis has had just a tremendous year. A very exciting receiver.
2nd and 1 Calgary, just shy of midfield. Petros has the first down. Lots to spare. Stopped by Zambiazzi.
Good block by the right guard, number 54, Rob Smith. Calgary likes to do a lot of trapping with their line, and that means the guards, Tom Spallettini and Rob Smith, have to do a lot of pulling and trapping. That time, Rob Smith opened a big hole for Tim Petros.
1st and 10 Calgary. They trail it 20-7 to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Warman has them moving right now. Stamps at the 40 or the 51 of Hamilton. This is Gary Allen. Looked like he had more running room than that, but Lewis over to make the stop after a gain of 4. Erwin Parker was also there.
Well, usually if you get through the first wave, you have a chance of making a draw play work. They got the good block on Ben Zambiazzi, the middle linebacker, by Kari Lirenko, the tackle. But some pretty good reaction by the rest of the Hamilton defense to limit that gain. And number 41, Erwin Parker, the new linebacker playing. Now, he is a load, 6'5", 241, 5 years with the Buffalo Bills, so he's been around.
Warman has Willis, and Willis has room.
Complete to Larry Willis.
Paul Bennett finally forcing Willis out of bounds, but not until after he made substantial yardage, a 29-yard gain.
17-yard line.
Well, this is what makes Larry Willis such a great receiver. He has the ability to turn a short out pattern into a big gain. What a move on Alvin Bailey right there, and 29 yards down the sidelines. No wonder Koharic wants to make sure he is in the lineup, even if he is hurt a little bit. Wearing that flak jacket, so he's got lots of protection.
1st and 10 Calgary. They threaten at the Ticat 18. Warman lofts it to the end zone, and no one is there. Willis would have been the closest Stampeder to the football, but he was yards away.
2nd and 10.
Well, there's no question they had a misread there. He thought he was going up, and he went to the sidelines. Larry Willis, of course, over the 1,000-yard mark in receiving this year. 10 touchdowns, too, and he's been the big weapon for the Stampeders. Won a couple of games for them late in last-minute catches.
First one of the season, I believe.
That's true.
Against Saskatchewan.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10, Stamps. Not much pressure on Warman as he looks and can't come up with Emmanuel Tolbert. Bennett was with him, 27 for the Tiger Cats. So that'll bring on J.T. Hay. 10:50 to play, second quarter. Ticats in front by 13 at 20-7.
J.T. Hay usually pretty reliable from this range, 8 out of 10 on the year.
Good on 35 of 48, his longest from 56 yards away. They were slow to react to that one, but Hay does put it through. So put 10 up on the board for the Stampeders. They're halfway to catching up on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The bottom line, the Tiger Cats scored 17 points in the opening quarter compared to 7 for Calgary, and it's 3-3 in the second quarter. On the scoreboard, 20-10. With 10 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the second quarter, and the Ticats have a first down at their 35.
And I do believe those 17 points were all direct results from Calgary turnovers. So Hamilton very sharp tonight, taking advantage of those situations. And of course, the good football teams do that on a regular basis.
On first down, Porras for Jackson. He's up near the 40. Stopped by Bernie Morrison.
That's the second time they've run the screenplay to Steve Jackson, and you can really see that he has not had a lot of playing time because he gets downfield just a little too quickly. He's got to let those blockers get out in front of him, but he's right there with the blockers when he catches the football. And Bernie Morrison, who has had such a super season, that middle linebacker for them. You know, Ronnie Hopkins was voted their Defensive Player of the Year. I kind of think they overlooked a good one here in Bernie Morrison.
On 2nd and 5, DiPietro makes the catch and gets a Ticat first down.
At the 46-yard line.
Tom Porras doing a pretty good job of nickel and diming the Stampeders here with the short passing game. And of course, you know, you don't have to run the football to be a ball control kind of team. You can certainly do it with the passing game, and those 2 short passes were an indication of it.
Porras has the Ticats first and 10 at the 46.
Those are good numbers.
Looking deep for DiPietro this time. He couldn't make the catch, but a flag goes down. Had it for a split second. Richie Hall covering.
Pass intended for DiPietro.
I don't know how they're going to call this because Rocky kind of pushed Richie Hall and came back over the top, but it looks as though it's going to go the other way.
Pass interference. Calgary number 27. First down, Hamilton.
I don't know about this one. You watch at the end, Rocky DiPietro uses his right arm and kind of pushes over the top of Richie Hall to make that attempt at the reception.
One more look.
You're going to have a great look at it here. And watch as DiPietro comes back over the top. See the arm right there? I don't know about that one.
Net gain 26 yards for the Ticats. And this is Gerald Harris for more.
I think Richie Hall got jobbed on that call.
Morrison again on the tackle.
Well, Rocky pushed off. Well, we'll forget about it. He can't do anything, but boy, oh boy, that's a tough call. You know, Richie's 5'6", Rocky's 6'3". Look at Rocky's arm now. He gives the push first. I don't know about that.
This is 2nd and 7, Tiger Cats. Stampeder 35. Porras. I believe Stapler was the intended receiver. DiPietro was also in the area. No one was close.
Now here's the first real test for the young kicker, Derek Noble. Now he's had a couple of chip shots. Now he gets a chance to
the confidence builders, Lee.
Confidence builders, 2 for 2. Now we'll get the real test. And it's going to come from about the 42-yard line. And whatever breeze that there is tonight at McMahon Stadium will be in his face.
And another injured Tiger Cat, Jason Riley, number 58, the left guard. Ticats lead at 20-10 with 8:08 to play till halftime.
Row 36, seat 7 is just 1-2.
Jeff Howe, the other trainer with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, out to help Jason Riley. He's got the big modeling career going now in Hamilton. Got the big.
Who, Jason Riley? I don't think so.
No, not Jason. Oh. No, maybe for Popular Mechanics, but Jeff Howe's got the modeling career going.
There's Rose in the red ski jacket. Rose jeans. That's Gary Arthur, who works with the Olympic Committee here in Calgary. We just lost him in our picture in a red ski jacket to the left of your screen. Derek Noble, his first big test as a CFL field goal kicker. Got some weight behind it. He's wide. Stampeders wisely give up a single point. 7:53 to play till halftime.
He thought it was good. He went and argued with the official. He thought he'd made it.
Not this time, Derek. 1 point for the Tiger Cats makes it 21-10.
Finding the right parts for your car can be a frustrating experience.
Have you got a facet for
His CFL debut. Already he's an expert. He's up from the junior Tiger Cats, and he thought his long field goal attempt was good.
Well, they always think they're good when they're close. They say, well, give it to me, but he'll get his shot. Wait till the game's on the line. That's when the true test will come. Lots of leg on this. A pretty good look at it here. He got it right up nice and high. No question about that. Wide.
He's looking for sympathy. And he's looking for 3 rather than 1.
Get the right finger up there. 1 point. That's it.
Stampeders trailing by 11. Try and get it rolling once more. Impressive on the opening drive. They haven't moved the football effectively since. Warman near side. Willis has a first down. Just backed out of bounds after making the catch. Near Howard Fields, a 14-yard gain.
They really need him in the lineup, and of course tonight he wasn't the starter, and you've got to have a Larry Willis if you want to take a run at it in the playoffs. Larry Willis with an Emmanuel Tolbert makes this receiving core a pretty good one right off the bat, but if he's not there, they become mediocre in a hurry.
Now 25.
First and 10, Stampeders at their own 49. Warman time to throw, looks to the far side, and Willis can't bring it down that time.
It'll be second and 10.
Ran a good pattern on Les Brown, came back to the quarterback, but Rick Warman, who has not been super sharp here in the first half, overthrown it a few times.
Check out the strides. He's got them cut out above the knee.
Get the Bermuda short look tonight. Little extra speed. And number 89 slick that you see on his shoes.
Second and 10, Stampeders still at the 49. 7:03 to play till halftime. Warman back in a hurry. The charge is on. Gary Allen. Nowhere to go.
Warman passes complete to Gary Allen, but he doesn't.
Ed Gadavakis, number 39, does not make the tackle, but boy, does he ever make the play. He just read it so quickly, knifed through the blocking, and forced Allen back to the inside. No running room, and well, that's just a case of a guy not getting in on the initial tackle, but certainly reading it and forcing the issue. Had it set up pretty well. They had to get it out of the... They could have got Gadavakis out of the way. They had a chance, but he forced it back inside. Get some help from your friends and bring Glenn Harper in the game. He's the league leader in punting.
His first of the night. Alvin Bailey had nowhere to go after falling, making the catch.
37-yard kick by Harper.
And leading the tacklers upfield for Calgary, Andy McVeigh.
Alvin Bailey.
37-yard punt, no return, really.
Here's Everett Parker, the new linebacker for the Hamilton Tigers. That's 6'5", 240 pounds.
Great job on that big double team. You just let him know when you're going to count on it.
Forrest on first and 10 as Stapler.
Morrow's complete to Stapler. 12-yard pickup on the play.
First down on the 12-yard gain.
46-yard line.
Ticats have been able to move the ball effectively most of the night. They've gotten out of deep holes and do it again once here.
That's a good throw, too, by Tom Forrest. You know, you have to have a strong arm to do it. There's no question about the strength of his arm. And Steve Stapler closing in on the receiving yardage total of Brian Kelly will keep you abreast of how close he's coming to it.
First and 10 from the 46. Chapdelaine has a reception out near midfield in front of Greg Peterson. A 13-yard gain.
That's a good matchup. Sorry, John. That's a good matchup. A couple of Canadians going at each other. Greg Peterson versus Brigham Young University. Jock Chapdelaine, a Simon Fraser University product. And a good move to the outside. See, Greg Peterson, when he gets in that back pedal, he's got a very high back pedal. He's not down over the balls of his feet. You can't come out of your break very quick when you back pedal like that.
Over the middle, complete to Harris, 34. And he's close to another Ticat first down. Should have it, actually, near the 40.
You know, going back to Greg Peterson, he's a middle safety, and he's not involved in a lot of man-to-man coverage against slotbacks. The only time he really comes up is when he has to take a back out of the backfield, and so he doesn't have the best technique as some of the other inside safeties would in the league, and he's a good guy to go one-on-one against, and Chapdelaine ran a pretty good pattern, but it's just the technique of Peterson that holds him back.
Ticats first and 10. Stampeder 40. Forrest goes deep. And not quite. Rocky DiPietro couldn't bring it down. Peterson covering once more, so they're working on Peterson. He wins this one.
Well, there's no question that's the area that they should go to and could have some success. There's pretty high back pedal now. Rocky DiPietro kind of goes right around. Pretty good speed turn, and had the ball not been underthrown, of course, Rocky was in pretty good shape. Darcy Kopp coming over the top to provide some help, but oh, Greg, I think you're going to be in for a long night.
Second and 10 Tiger Cats. They lead it 21-10 with 4:25 till halftime. Ticats at the Stampeder 40. Forrest lost the football, picked up by Stu Laird. Or at least Laird had a hand on it for a moment. And he came up with the ball. First turnover going the other way. Right about time for the Stampeders to come up with something defensively.
Well, they needed a break. You know, they trailed by 11 points here in the second quarter, and Tom Forrest just got sandbagged from behind. Didn't see anybody coming, and they get the fumble recovery, and that's the kind of break that sometimes can turn a game around. We'll see how the Calgary offense can react to that.
Well, put one for the Stampeders. They've coughed it up 4 times. Warman on first down. Willis, the intended receiver.
Warman's pass intended for Larry
and
Willis.
Warman hit pretty hard.
It'll be a second and 10. Check the ad for Mr.
Well, you know, when you're going to stand in the pocket and take a shot like this, you'd like to at least complete the football, but not able to do so. I believe number 41, Evan Parker, the newcomer, was in there with the hit. Larry Willis, no chance to catch that football.
Made on those two playing your prize.
Forrest has some pretty good numbers so far. Second and 10, Calgary at the 53. This is Gary Allen trying the right side wide. Allen tripped up, but should have the first.
Gary Allen on the carry.
Well, he got a great block from Emmanuel Tolbert on Howard Fields just to spring him loose for those extra few yards and pick up the first down. They really had Hamilton off balance. Tom Spallettini coming around the corner, seals off Grover Covington. I don't know if we're going to see the block by Tolbert. Yeah, you might right there in Fields. Bit of a clip, but he got away with it.
On first down, Warman for Willis. Tight coverage by Alvin Bailey.
Alvin Bailey broke on the ball very quickly. He has a couple of interceptions on the season.
It'll be second and 10.
Second and 10, Calgary Stampeders. When we return, they have 11 points to make up on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hamilton in front, 21-10. Calgary Stampeders are behind the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 21-10. Larry Kuharich trying to get the Stamps ready for the playoffs. An effective opening drive for Calgary on the ground, and Warman has had some difficulty through the air.
Of course, we talked about their situation in the takeaway giveaway category. They're minus 26, now minus 30 on the year. And of course, it's really tough to operate when you cough up the football. Tom Porras, on the other hand, he's kind of been told that he's the #1 guy for now. And of course, if he's starting tonight, I suspect if he has a good night, he'll start next week in that playoff game in Toronto. His numbers have been impressive. He's a good leader, and you know what? He's got a big heart in there. I like the way he takes charge of the offense. He's not afraid to go for that big play. He's got the receivers to do it. I sure like his style.
2nd and 10, Stampeders at the 43. Warman in trouble, and he's down. Zambiazzi was through, and Warman didn't stand a chance. A loss of 12.
Loss of 12, 22.
Big play by Ben Zambiazzi, the middle linebacker. Picks up his 3rd sack of the year. It comes through untouched. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who come into this game 2nd in sacking the quarterback in the league, add another one to their total. Well, we said earlier, defense has been the problem for the Ticats this year. They've given up a lot more points than they did last year. And of course, coming into the season, I think they figured, if our defense plays the way it did in '86, we'll be all right. We'll just improve the offense a bit. They have improved the offense. The defense has been the sorry part of the team.
It's been a hard-hitting football game. We mentioned earlier that Covington had been out. Last week, they ended up in a bit of a fight, with 3 players being ejected. Les Brown was fined $200 for his part for the Tiger Cats. Gary Allen and Jerry Gordon of Calgary fined $100 each, and all were sent for an early shower.
Mike Walker was talking to me today, and he said, that he expected to have quite a battle with the offensive left guard, Tom Spallettini, tonight. They both wear number 61, but so far yet we've been having a look at it. Nothing really has materialized. But Mike Walker said, I expect to see some bad blood out on the field because last week's game was not only hard-hitting, but a little dirty at times. And players have long memories about those kind of things.
Zambiazzi heads to the sidelines. And the Stampeders are now in a punting situation with Glenn Harper in for the 2nd time tonight.
Glenn Harper's had a couple of punts blocked this year.
Impressive average through it all. 2:49 till halftime. The Ticats lead 21-10 on the Calgary Stampeders. Harper at his 40. Alvin Bailey near the 15. Good pursuit by Stampeder special teams. Bob Foley led the way. And Foley is nominated as the top lineman in Shenley balloting on the Stampeder team.
It's up to the offensive lineman. Dr. Nick Sixay, who's been a team doctor with the Hamilton Tiger Cats since the days that I played there in the late 70s. Tells a big story right there. Tom Porras getting the production, Rick Warman not.
Porras in some difficulty, sprints to the right side. They come up close to the first down, a couple of yards short. Stopped by Larry Hogue.
Tom Porras, who has not had a great deal of playing time before this season, shows a lot of poise. The thing I like about him is he's always looking to throw the football, and running for him becomes the last resort. And I think with a lot of young quarterbacks that are inexperienced, they sometimes try and run the football a little too quickly. Porras looks, and finally, at a last resort, he'll run with the football and does a pretty good job at it. Makes a nice move to get around Bruce Green.
And Green was injured in collision with the turf more than anything.
Pride was injured, I think.
2:20 to go till halftime. 2nd and 3, Tiger Cats. They begin at their own 23. Gerald Harris. And I'm sure he didn't get the first down. Quincy Williams led the Stampeder tacklers, number 91. Williams has been in and out of the Calgary lineup this season. Really, they're missing Harold Hallman up front.
Third down, Tiger Cats.
Quincy Williams playing his 10th game of the season, and you're right, John. Harold Hallman, who is the sack leader on the Stampeders, not in the lineup tonight, had a neck injury last week.
They're hoping he'll be back for the playoffs with Edmonton.
Well, they certainly need him in there.
Stapler will punt on 3rd and 3. Richie Hall, no chance for the return.
Steve Stapler's punt goes out of bounds.
A 29-yard punt for Steve Stapler. Our final game of the season on TSN. It's been a lot of fun. We'd like to thank some people who gave us a hand. Bobby Layden, Alex Ponton, George Cootie, Don Seiler spotting for us tonight, Larry Mueller, our spotter in Regina. And of course, our producer and director, Rick Brace and Jim Marshall.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun for me working with the new crew, and really an enjoyable season. And my hat off to Rick Brace and Jimmy Marshall for their fine work.
Hats off to the Ticat defense. Warman is chased well back. Terry Laney finally over to make the tackle, but Warman was scrambling for his life.
By
Hamilton defense really has played well, give or take a few plays here in the first half. And come up with some big plays. 19-yard loss on that play for Rick Warman. Never really had a chance to set up in the pocket. The Hamilton Ticat front four putting a great deal of pressure. There's Grover Covington coming up with the sack.
2nd and 29. And he fires well over the head of Larry Willis. A flag down with Warman in the Stampeder backfield.
Receiver. Flags down.
But they're really upset. They felt maybe like Alvin Bailey took a bit of a cheap shot at Larry Willis, but that's not a cheap shot at all. You know, the ball's in the air. You have a chance to go and play at him. I think they're just upset because Larry Willis has the bad ribs and they feel like a guy's taking a shot at them. But,
the call goes against the Tiger Cats, though, Leaf.
Roughing the passer charged against the Ticats. First down.
No number mentioned, but the Stampeders come out of it with a first down.
They got 1 minute and 20 to go. Lots of time.
From the 54. More pressure on Warman. He's down again. Ganavac is through. He's playing a good game.
He really has. You know, he's been a spot starter for the Ticats this year. Made a couple of key interceptions in the game against the BC Lions to preserve a win for the Ticats. This is his 3rd sack of the season. He does a good job. Watch when he wraps them up high. It goes around the shoulders of Rick Warman. Then there's no chance that he can get the ball off.
2nd and 20 for Calgary. And they come again at Rick Warman. He gets it out of the backfield for Gary Allen. Allen has it first down. Big play for the Stampeders. Parker over to make the tackle. Big play, Calgary. 1:04 left till halftime.
Warman's pass complete to Allen for a 23-yard pickup on a Calgary first down.
A 23-yard gain. They needed 20. Allen comes up with 20 plus 3.
They got the key block on number 41, Everett Parker. That allowed Gary Allen to get up inside. When you can convert on 2nd and long like that, you've done a great job offensively.
Time to throw for Warman this time. He has his man. Another first down for the Stampeders. Willis gets out of bounds. Couple of big plays in a row for Calgary. Touchdown here, we'd have a heck of a second half.
A great job by Larry Willis to make the catch over the middle and then have the presence of mind to work his way back and get out of bounds. He got 19 yards on the gain, and back-to-back plays, 42 yards for the Stampeders, and really with 49 seconds left at the 24-yard line, they've got lots of time to try and get back in this one.
Stamps trail by 11 at 21-10. Warman goes for it. Touchdown. Gary Allen. It looked bleak about 3 plays ago, but Warman comes up with a big pass. A 24-yard touchdown to Gary Allen. Good-looking play, Lee.
That's just super football. You know, Rick Warman got an early read with Zambiazzi blitzing. He knew he had man-on-man. Now boys. Got Gary Allen on Everett Parker. A beautiful matchup and great touch on the football. And Everett Parker at 240 pounds cannot stay with Gary Allen. He's got his second touchdown of the football game. And yes, Rick Warman, you have a right to be happy. You engineered just a super drive using the hurry-up offense, and that's just pretty football to watch.
J.T. Hay adds one more. Still 43 seconds till halftime. A roughing the passer call really kept this drive rolling for the Stampeders.
That sure was the key play. You know, they would have had to give up the football. And Rick Warman put three big plays together. Gary Allen on a second and long screen pass. Larry Willis with the big catch to get out of bounds. And then, of course, that one-on-one Gary Allen on Everett Parker down the sidelines. And you know, it's just great touch on the football. He made it in, a nice soft pass to catch, and Gary Allen has his second major of the game. A lot of offense here in the first half.
21-17. A 52-yard scoring drive in 3 plays, less than a minute. And 43 seconds remain till halftime. Alvin Bailey, Jeff Treflin, deep for the Tiger Cats in the kickoff from J.T. Hay. Good first half of football. Treflin at the 10. Out across the 30 to the 32.
By J.T. Hay.
Lamont Jeffers led the Stampeder tacklers that time. 39 seconds for Tom Porras.
Darcy Kopp made the tackle. Ticats first and 10 at their own 32.
Porras and the Tiger Cats with 39 seconds left till halftime. Begin at the 32. Pressure for Porras. He gets it away. Close to the first down. Steve Jackson.
Jackson for a 7-yard pickup.
They got a 7-yard gain.
Tom Porras would like to get Derek Noble in range for a field goal attempt. You still got lots of time on the clock, about 30 seconds now.
Porras trying to run for the first down. He has it and gets out of bounds.
A nice block from Steve Jackson there to get those extra few yards, pick up the first down, stop the clock, move the chains, and
first down, Tiger Cats after a gain of 4.
It's got to go about 25, 28 yards for a realistic shot for Derek Noble.
He's got to do that in 25 seconds. Ticats in front by 4, 21-17. Can't hang on. Gerald Harris.
Porras for Harris.
21 seconds left.
Got to make those catches when you're trying to struggle and get some points late in the half. Got to be tough on a young guy like Gerald Harris. I mean, you're there for a couple of days of practice.
I think he was in Hamilton for 5 days.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Second and 10, Ticats, 20 seconds on the clock. Porras from the 42, looks long. For Rocky DiPietro, can't quite make the catch. No flag, covering Richie Hall.
Richie Hall had perfect position on Rocky DiPietro, and that's a tough matchup height-wise. You know, DiPietro at 6'3", Richie Hall at 5'7". But he makes a good play. 1-on-1 stays on the inside hip. Now you force the quarterback to throw it far over the outside shoulder. It's not a bad throw, but Richie Hall with great coverage.
Hall is shaken up.
Well, it seems like you see Richie Hall always about 3 or 4 times a game being helped off, but he sure doesn't stay out for too many plays. Pound for pound, he's a pretty tough guy.
15 seconds till halftime. Steve Stapler will kick it away. Stapler back at the 28. Not deep. Lost by the Stampeders. Darcy Kopp misjudged it. Flags down. Short kick by Stapler.
Punt travel 21 yards.
21 yards.
No yards, 74 Hamilton. First down Calgary.
Could have been costly to the Stampeders. But with 7 seconds left, Warman will be content to maybe take one more shot at the end zone here, Leaf. They're now inside the 50. Maybe one Hail Mary shot last play of the half, or will he just go down on one knee and say we're close enough?
Well, he's got Tolbert and Larry Willis wide to the wide side of the field, and I'd take a shot at it. Why not?
Willis can't bring it down. One more play till halftime. Howard Fields covering on Willis.
Howard Fields defending on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, they're going to try a J.T. Hay field goal, and this would be about a 56-yard attempt.
Now, Hay did hit a 56-yarder.
He's got a little bit of wind at his back.
13 out of 17 in the 40-plus range.
That's a great number.
J.T. Hay from 56 yards. He's wide. That should be the first half. No flags are down on the field. J.T. Hay comes up a little short on a 56-yard field goal attempt on the last play of the opening half. Good football at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. The Stampeders have come back to make it close. They trail the Hamilton Tiger Cats by 4 at halftime. It's 21-17. The game of the week on TSN from McMahon Stadium in Calgary has been a good one so far. And let's check out the numbers in the first half. Turnovers really hurt the Calgary Stampeders, but they came back to lead in net yardage with 206 yards compared to 197 for the Tiger Cats.
I think interesting to note, too, that Hamilton, after the first quarter, had 144 yards net. And, of course, after the first half, 197. So Calgary Stampeders did a much better job defensively in the second quarter.
Both teams get set for the playoffs. Both teams are in third spot in their respective divisions and will be on the road to begin the semifinals next weekend. The Stampeders in Edmonton. The Tiger Cats are in Toronto. To get the second half underway, J.T. Hay for Jeff Treflin. Good return by Treflin, forced out by Tony Pearson.
Out by J.T. Hay. Jeff Treflin on the return for Hamilton. A return of 49 yards for Treflin, and the Tiger Cats will take over first.
So Porras and the Tiger Cats will have a first down right near the 50 at the 49. Great way to begin.
Yeah, both teams actually have enjoyed pretty good field position tonight, John. I can't really recall either one starting deep in their own territory.
Porras under some pressure has Tony Champion. And Greg Peterson covering on Champion once more.
Well, Tom Porras really hangs in the pocket a long time here. Now, he knows he's going to get drilled. Stu Laird's coming right in his face, but he hangs in and throws an absolute strike to Tony Champion in between Larry Hogue and the linebackers. And, boy, that is just tremendous execution by the quarterback and a good job by Tony Champion to get into the open spot.
Ticats with a first down at the Stampeders 45. Porras intended for Stapler, and there's a flag down.
Well, there's no question about that. Ronnie Hopkins had good coverage, but he just did not time it perfectly. He came over the top, made contact before the ball arrived, and that's a good call.
Forward pass interference. Number 14, Calgary. First down, Hamilton.
Look where the Ticats are now. Inside the 30.
We're going to have a good look at Steve Stapler now. Hopkins right over the top, and I mean, there's no question about that. He made contact before the ball arrived, and that's a good call.
Porras in some difficulty, gets back to the line of scrimmage and grabs a couple more before Bernie Morrison dragged him down.
Porras carries himself. Brought down by Bernie Morrison.
Gary Morrison, the veteran from the University of Manitoba. I saw him in a little clip on the news this week saying that the highlight of his career would be if he could be nominated for the Finleys. Of course, that did not occur for him this year. Pretty good numbers, Tom Forrest.
2nd and 9, Tiger Cats. And the running game has not been that effective. Gerald Harris, number 34, gets it in front of the uprights. And that'll bring on Derek Noble.
Well, Johnny Jones is their number 1 back, and he's a little nicked this week. He's back in Hamilton getting rested and getting ready for the playoffs. And, you know, this is an opportunity for both teams tonight to play a few guys that probably won't play next week in their playoff games. Frank Robinson, the fine linebacker of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, is not here, and he is eligible to play next week. I understand Leo Esrins has a bad knee and probably would not be available through the club.
Noble is wide. 2nd time in a row. Good on his first 2 in close. Wide on the next 2 when he was a little farther back. So the Tiger Cats add to the lead, but only by a single point. It is Hamilton in front of Calgary, 22-17. Well, he's missed 2 in a row now. Derek Noble.
No body English or anything now. He knows it's wide all the way off the bat. Really is a problem area for the Ticats. You know, you go into the playoffs and your kicking game's a little shaky.
You're going against, don't forget, you're going against Chomick and Olisic.
And they're good.
Toronto. First down, Calgary. Good room to the outside for Gary Allen. Still on his feet across midfield, brought down at the 50. Ganavakis with the tackle. A little more of the Gary Allen form that made him an All-Canadian in the CFL last year. A 25-yard game.
They got a great block from Tim Petros to seal off the inside. Petros slotted up there, and number 54, Rob Smith, the right guard, is able to come clean around the corner. And when you get that kind of blocking up front, you got a back like Gary Allen, he will make a lot of yards for you. Beautiful execution.
Stamp 1st and 10. Ticat 51. This is Tim Petros. Stopped in the backfield. Ben Zambiazzi led the tacklers. Sorry about that. Zambiazzi on the sidelines. Grover Covington led the tackle.
Turn to page C57 of your game program and look for the Robinson's camera Bushnell binoculars at. Your ad has a
special hyperextension there. Usually when you have an ice pack right behind the knee,
binoculars courtesy of
the area where you can hyperextend that knee.
2nd and 10 for Warman and the Stampeders. Swings it out for Petros. Head of steam. Petros has the first. Down to the 35. Parker the tackle.
Well, Mike Robinson, the backup linebacker, has to come in and replace Ben Zambiazzi in the middle, and it's a tough job for him to do. He's got Petros man-to-man. Now watch Petros catch the ball out in the flat. Makes a good move to get around Mike Robinson right there. Little high stepping, and he's got a first down.
Stampeders with a first down at the Ticat 35. 5-yard pickup for Jerry Gordon. Stopped immediately by Les Brown.
Jerry Gordon.
Good job, Jerry! Way to go, Jerry!
6 yards. It'll be 4.
Pretty intense guy, Larry Kaharick, but I sure like his style. He's added a lot of enthusiasm to the Stampeder team since he's taken over. Of course, you know, definite candidate for Coach of the Year.
2nd and 4, Calgary. Just inside the Ticat 30. Gary Allen again. Lots for the first. He's inside the 20. Les Brown again leading the Ticat tacklers.
12 yards on the pickup. And another Calgary first down.
12-yard gain.
Once again, another great block from number 54, the right guard, Rob Smith. They've been trapping the Hamilton defensive tackles all night long. That time, Johnny Lewis was trapped. Gary Allen works it up to the inside. Watch Rob Smith, 54. Here he comes. He gets the good block up inside, and there goes Gary Allen. You know, when you can consistently keep picking up those first downs on the ground, you really start to wear down a defense in a hurry.
Stamps on the roll. Another first down, this time from the 18. Warman to the far side. Intended it for Tolbert.
Pass intended for Tolbert. Second and 10.
Of course, that's what you like to try and create when you come with the blitz. I mean, the reason why you're blitzing is to put some pressure and try and hurry the quarterback. That time, number 39, Ed Gadavakis, right up the chute. They can't block him in time, and they get the extra pressure on Rick Warman, and he has to really throw the football away. Lee Spivey, the left tackle, just could not hang and get in to block Gadavakis.
Gadavakis forcing the Stampeders into 2nd and 10 at the Ticat 18. Warman over the middle. Tolbert can't hang on. He's dropped a couple tonight.
Warman's pass intended for Emmanuel Tolbert.
It's unfortunate. Rick Warman had the perfect read. He knew what was coming, and he had Tolbert on a crossing pattern. That's tough for the defensive back to run all the way across the field. And unfortunately, Emmanuel just could not make the catch.
Was that a little behind Tolbert, though?
Well, it was a little behind him, but I think you expect a guy like Tolbert who's going to have 3 1,000 years back-to-back to make that catch when you get down around the goal line.
J.T. Hay from the 25. And Hay is wide. Ticats give up a single point. Les Brown down on one knee in the end zone. So 2 drives ending aces on the scoreboard, 22-18. Ticats leading the stand.
Pretty unusual for J.T. Hay. He's one of the more reliable kickers in the league.
Running back Dan Hucklack, injured earlier. Looks like he might be back in the game. But not on this series. Ticats begin with a first down at the 35. They call it a reception for Steve Stapler.
That's a great catch by Stapler.
Looked low to me, but I think he did catch it.
Well, he made a great effort. Steve Stapler, you know, is an interesting story. Not a big guy, only about 170 pounds, but you know, he could bench press over 350 pounds. He's a black belt in karate. Pound for pound, I would say he's probably one of the strongest and toughest guys in the CFL, pound for pound.
Good call, good catch. A gain of 16 for the Tiger Cats, but nowhere to go on 1st and 10 for Gerald Harris.
This will not be a night to remember for Gerald Harris. He just has not been able to get on track. No running room for him. And of course, when you're trying to make a big impression, very frustrating not to get the blocking up front.
2nd and 10. Good night at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Is that Kathy? I guess it is.
She's got her name written on her arm so she doesn't forget.
Sister's jacket. Forrest intercepted. Picked out by Richie Hall.
Forrest intended for Stapler and picked out.
He looked to Steve Stapler. Richie Hall has the interception.
Richie's
fourth on the year.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good night, too. You know, a couple of times doing great coverage on Rocky DiPietro. Knocked one ball away. Got absolutely jobbed on another pass interference call, and now finally comes up with an interception. All put 5'7", about 150 pounds. And this is one of those when Tom Forrest just didn't see him. You know, he's looking downfield, sees somebody he thinks is coming open. He doesn't see Richie Hall cutting in front of Steve Stapler. That's a good play on the football by Richie Hall. Tom Forrest just didn't see him, no question about it.
Stapler looked to be standing still.
Well, he could see what was happening. He could see Richie Hall out of the corner of his eye coming in.
Fourth interception of the season for Richie Hall. He gives the Stampeders great field position. Hamilton out in front, 22-18. It's a 4-point ball game with 7:21 left in the third quarter. Tom Forrest directing the Tiger Cats in his 9th start of the season. His record is 5-3. Upset at the last interception. The Stampeders, first down. Tiger Cat 46. Deep drop for Warman. Tried to slide it out over the middle for Gary Allen.
Intended for Gary Allen.
Ron Mans, who's the publicity director for the Stampeders, hands me a note saying that the $253,000 house that was being offered in the Friends of the Stampeder lottery was won by a group of 5 people. Now, I hope they get 5 bedrooms in that place. How they divide that one? Well, you get the driveway. I'll take the backyard.
The lucky 5 that won the lottery is a group that works for a Safeway store in Calgary, so I hope they're friendly, too. Gary Allen, short of the first down, but a good run.
Gary Allen carries.
They've really had some great success with that play tonight, simply because they're able to block and seal the outside. They get a good block on the defensive end, Grover Covington. This allows Rob Smith to come around the corner and get some blocking. That time, not able to pick up the necessary yardage, but still a pretty good game for Gary Allen, having himself a good night. Nice numbers there.
Tim Petros had some running yards, and earlier Emmanuel Tolbert had a pretty good gain along the ground as well. 3rd and 3. J.T. Hay missed the last one from closer than this. He'll try from the 45. No problem from there. Missed from 24. Dead on the money at 45 yards. Stampeders within a point.
Well, on the other hand, Derek Noble struggled here on his last 2 attempts. But, you know, from the 40 to the 49, J.T. Hay coming into this game 11 of 13. That really is an incredible percentage from that range.
Well, we've got a good one going through the 3rd quarter and into the 4th with the Tiger Cats lead. Now cut to a single point at 22 to 21. An important night for both teams as they wind down the season. Important based on the playoffs coming up next week.
Well, JT, he knows who the key guys are in that kicking game. He shakes the hand of Bob Foley, the center, and, of course, the holder, Glenn Harper. The 3 of those fellows make it work.
Alvin Bailey, Jeff Triplin deep for the Tiger Cats for the kickoff. Rolling through, taken by Bailey. Had some problems with it. Not much of a return.
53 yards on the kickoff by J.T. Hay.
Hopkins led the Stampeder tacklers.
Bailey gets about 8 yards.
A few moments ago, I mentioned that it would be a highlight for Bertie Morrison to be a Schenley candidate. I said, unfortunately, he wasn't. Let me correct myself. Bernie has been nominated as the outstanding Canadian on the Calgary Stampeder Football Club, and rightfully so, the team leader in tackles and having his best year in his
1st and 10 from the 30.
really good 10-year career from the University of Manitoba. Bernie Morrison.
Ticats begin with a 1st and 10 at the 30. Flags down, Porras to the sidelines. Fired for Lee Knight. He couldn't drag it down.
Lee Knight's the intended receiver on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10, Ticats from the 30. Stampeders would like to thank the Bay along with 60.
Legal procedure, Hamilton number 62.
Procedure charged against Hamilton.
Floyd Fairbanks.
Procedure, Hamilton number 62, declined. 2nd down.
Fans would like to thank the Bay.
Frank King, who's chairman of OCO 88 and host of the world at the Winter Olympic Games in Calgary coming up in February. A lot of hard work. Has gone into the Winter Olympics preparations. Good defensive play. Larry Hogue on Tony Champion.
Porras intended for Champion.
That's the 2nd time he's robbed Tony Champion tonight. And Larry Hogue has really played well in the corner and read the pattern perfectly. A nice speed turn to stay with Tony Champion. Knocks the ball down. 2nd knockdown of the game for him. And, yeah, he knows it. He gives himself a hand.
3rd down, Tiger Cats. Derek Noble punting from his 15.
Do they draw straws on the sidelines to see who punts here or what?
Stapler has done some. Noble has done some. Noble is doing better than Stapler. Richie Hall. Hit by David Sauvé, number 88 for the Tiger Cats.
Gary Allen, who's having himself a good night. Nice numbers there.
Tim Petros had some running yards, and earlier Emmanuel Tolbert had a pretty good gain along the ground as well. 3rd and 3. J.T. Hay missed the last one. From closer than this, he'll try from the 45. No problem from there. Missed from 24. Dead on the money at 45 yards. Stampeders within a point.
Well, on the other hand, Derek Noble struggled here on his last 2 attempts. But you know, from the 40 to the 49, J.T. Hay coming into this game 11 of 13. That really is an incredible percentage from that range.
Well, we've got a good one going through the 3rd quarter and into the 4th with the Tiger Cats lead. Now cut to a single point at 22 to 21. An important night for both teams as they wind down the season. Important based on the playoffs coming up next week.
Well, JT, he knows who the key guys are in that kicking game. He shakes the hand of Bob Foley, the center, and of course the holder, Glenn Harper. The 3 of those fellows make it work.
Alvin Bailey, Jeff Kirkland deep for the Tiger Cats for the kickoff. Rolling through, taken by Bailey. Had some problems with it. Not much of a return.
53 yards on the kickoff by J.T. Hay.
Hopkins led the Stampeder tacklers.
Bailey gets about 8 yards.
A few moments ago, I mentioned that it would be a highlight for Bertie Morrison to be a Shenley candidate. I said, unfortunately, he wasn't. Let me correct myself. Bernie has been nominated as the outstanding Canadian on the Calgary Stampeder Football Club, and rightfully so, the team leader in tackles and having his best year in his
1st and 10 from the 30.
really good 10-year career from the University of Manitoba. Bernie Morrison.
Ticats begin with a 1st and 10 at the 30. Flags down, Porras to the sidelines. Fired for Lee Knight. He couldn't drag it down.
Lee Knight's the intended receiver on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10, Ticats from the 30. Stampeders would like to thank McKay along with 60.
Legal procedure, Hamilton number 62.
Procedure charged against Hamilton.
Floyd Fairbanks.
Procedure, Hamilton number 62, declined. 2nd down.
Fans would like to thank the Bays.
Frank King, who's chairman of OCO 88 and host of the world at the Winter Olympic Games in Calgary coming up in February. A lot of hard work. Has gone into the Winter Olympics preparations. Good defensive play. Larry Hogue on Tony Champion.
Porras intended for Champion.
That's the 2nd time he's robbed Tony Champion tonight. And Larry Hogue has really played well in the corner and read the pattern perfectly. A nice speed turn to stay with Tony Champion. Knocks the ball down. 2nd knockdown of the game for him. And yeah, he knows it. He gives himself a hand.
3rd down, Tiger Cats. Derek Noble punting from his 15.
Do they draw straws on the sidelines to see who punts here or what?
Stapler has done some. Noble has done some. Noble is doing better than Stapler. Richie Hall. Hit by David Sauvé, number 88 for the Tiger Cats.
Noble. Richie Hall gets 7 yards.
Good ball game going at McMahon Stadium tonight. A 1-pointer so far. It is the Tiger Cats out in front of Calgary, 22 to 21, with 5:11 left in the 3rd quarter. Good one going at McMahon Stadium tonight. Stampeders have come back to make a football game out of it. They trail by 1 at 22-21. A 1-point ball game last week between these two teams in Hamilton. Calgary won.
Sam Biazzi being out of the lineup here in the 2nd half could be a factor. Mike Robertson, his replacement, has not had a lot of experience.
Stampeders First down at the 42. Gary Allen. One block, gets to the outside, close to 9 yards. Mike Walker, 61, made the tackle for Hamilton.
You know, it's funny. Gary Allen gets all the glory on these running plays, but it's number 12, Tim Petros, that is really doing the job. That time, he sealed off number 59, Rod Skillman, a defensive end, who has to outweigh him by about 30 pounds, and sealed him off and allows Rob Smith to come around the corner. And boy, sooner or later, Hamilton's going to have to widen out that defensive end just to touch and try and stop that play.
Give Allen a gain of 8. This is 2nd and 2, and Petros gets it this time. He has the first down. Loves to watch that guy run.
Tim Petros.
Stopped by Mike Robinson, 33.
Well, it's great to see this. The backs are really blocking well for each other. Petros for Allen, and now it's Allen's turn. Watch Gary Allen come around the corner and absolutely destroy number 41, Everett Parker, who must outweigh him by about 50 pounds. And these two guys are really doing a great job blocking for each other. And the running game just looks super right now for the Stampeders.
First down, Calgary. Now at the Ticat 49. Warman stumbled. Now looks long, a flag down. It's intercepted, picked off by Paul Bennett. The intended receiver was Gordon, number 82, but there's a flag down.
Bennett, but there is a flag down on the play.
Warman shaken up.
Forward pass interference, number 15, Hamilton. First down, Calgary.
Warman gets a first down out of it. Wes Brown.
Well, if Rick Warman can't continue, Carl Fodor is the backup quarterback. I don't like his numbers, 18% on the season.
3 out of 16 for 58 yards.
Yeah, still looking for his first touchdown pass. I think Rick Warman's going to be able to shake this off and continue, but tough penalty for the Ticats. You know, they have the interception, and Les Brown took a shot at Larry Willis, knocked him out. He gets called for it, and the Stampeders keep the football.
First down, Calgary, Ticat 31. Gary Allen. Ticats stuff it up a little bit on the left side. Parker led the way.
Gary Allen, usually the key to the offense of the Stampeders. You know, you can talk about Larry Willis and Emmanuel Tolbert, and those are the guys that make the big catches for them. But Gary Allen, with his rushing and receiving totals, usually every game, if he's a guy that can get you about 150 yards between the two categories, rushing and receiving, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably win the game if your defense can play half decent.
This is 2nd and 6, Calgary. At the 27 of the Tiger Cats. Warman looking for Allen at the goal line. He makes the catch, but no good. He was out of bounds.
Warman for Allen. The pass ball is out of bounds.
Rick Warman's taken a few shots here in this last series, trying to get the Stampeders down in scoring range. But threw a pretty good pass there. Unfortunately, Gary Allen's just out of bounds. He has really paid the price standing in the pocket, but give him credit. You know, that takes a lot of courage to stand in there. And, you know, you've got Everett Parker, who's 6'5", 241, going to give you a smack when you release the football. It takes a lot of courage.
J.T. Hay, 50% of the night, his longest, 45. This from the 34. Single point again. Kickers are a little upset at some of the calls tonight.
Yeah, they really are. J.T. Hay kind of really felt that he had made that. We're going to follow him downfield. Of course, it won't make any difference.
Missed by that much. It ties the ball game at 22. Two minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 17 points for the Tiger Cats. Big opening quarter. Stampeders came back with 10 in the second. And they're all even right now. First down, Hamilton, and Porras looks over the middle. Steve Jackson.
Porras complete to Jackson.
Matt Finley made the tackle. Warman.
7-yard pickup on the play, brought down by Matt Finley at the end of the 42.
We got turf toe, Lathan.
I think it's turf toe. It's difficult to tell if it's a cramp or not. Usually when you pull the foot back, you know, it's kind of an indication that it is a cramp.
2nd and 3 for the Tiger Cats at the 42. Harris stopped almost in his tracks.
Harris brought down by Jeffers, very close to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 3. Ticats. See your Longhorns out on page 25 of your game program. Has the Lucky Stampeder sticker on it, and you've just won a
Ticat head coach Ted Schmitz talking with Rod Skillman on the sidelines.
Present your program to the stands main office to claim your prize.
A real difference here in the second half is Calgary has been able to get some good blocking up front and grind out some first downs. Hamilton has had no blocking whatsoever.
The Stampeders can hardly miss scoring in this one. Goldsmith. Vince Goldsmith got through and chased it down into the end zone. Random Cowboy.
Really quite slow getting the football off and not a very good job of blocking up front. Vince Goldsmith, who's been really an opportunistic player this year. He got the 1 touchdown and a big win over the BC Lions here when he caused a fumble. Now he blocks the punt, recovers it, and scores himself.
A.T. Hayes conversion attempt is good.
Hayes convert good. The Stampeders out in front, 29-22. We said at the outset that Vince Goldsmith might have to come up big tonight in the absence of Harold Holman. He does on this play. Blocks the punt, chases it down, and recovers for the touchdown.
Well, he's an impact and dramatic kind of player. Always seems like he's able to come up with a big effort at the right time. And, of course, Stampeders have really slowly put themselves back into this football game and now finally take the lead. I remember earlier in the year, he stripped the ball loose from Roy DeWalt from the BC Lions here, and I believe that was Larry Kuharic's first game as head coach of the Stampeders, and took it in for a touchdown. Now another touchdown.
Derek Noble started off well. A little shell-shocked right now.
Well, this is a great concern for the Ticats. When your kicking game is struggling, that really makes a big difference to your ball club.
Jeff Tretlin on the Ticat return. Out near the 45 and smothered right there.
5 yards on the kickoff by
Stu Laird, Quincy Williams.
25 yards.
Leading the tacklers for Calgary. And the Stampeders lead it by a touchdown, 29-22.
Stu Laird led the
55 seconds remaining, third quarter. Vince Goldsmith, 12 sacks coming into the game. He has a 5-game sack streak going as well. Ticats from the 45, first down. Porras flags down as Porras finds a man near the 43. It's Lee Knights.
Offside, 87 Hamilton.
Tony Champion, a quick start.
Porras' pass was
They'll take it back.
Lee Knight, but it's called back because the Tiger Cats were offside.
38 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
First down over again, 15 yards to go.
We've seen some big plays go against Hamilton tonight. Hamilton tonight, there's a big reception now that comes back by a stupid penalty. You got Les Brown for interference and you lose an interception, a couple of series before. And these things over the course of a 60-minute football game really begin to add up, and they tell a story in the final outcome, no question.
On first and 15, Porras intended it for Lee Knight, almost intercepted. Larry Hogue had a shot.
That's the third big knockdown he's made in the game tonight, and for a player who has to move out of position, he has really performed admirably. Watch, he's in his zone coverage. When you're in a zone, you just react to the football when it's in the air. He does a superb job up high in the air, knock it down, and Stampeder defense, outside of a shaky first quarter when they gave up some points due to the turnovers, have really played well from there on in.
The Ticats a little quiet right now. They led by 11 points. They now trail by a touchdown, second and 15. He'll be short of the first down. Lee Knight made the catch, but short of midfield.
Lee Knight brought down by Richie Hall after a gain of about 13 yards, and that is the final play of the third quarter.
Final play of the third quarter. The Calgary Stampeders, fourth quarter. The Stampeders lead by 7. And Stapler is in the punt for the Tiger Cats. Here the 32 flag down as Richie Hall steps up. 24-yard kick. An infraction.
No yards. Hamilton, number 88. First down, Calgary.
David Sauve. A little too close.
No yards. Against the Ticats.
Through the third quarter. Calgary leading the way in total yards, and the turnovers getting a little bit closer now as well.
You know, John, from the first quarter on, the second and third quarter, Hamilton has only had 69 net yards of offense, 144 in the first quarter. Really kind of tells the stories. Calgary's finally taken over and taken control of this football game.
First and 10 Calgary now. At the Stampeder 49. Gary Allen. Close to 5.
Gary Allen.
Well, John, you and I talked tonight. Can Hamilton go into Toronto next week and do the kind of thing they did last year in the playoffs? And taking a look at this football club tonight, they just simply don't have the same kind of momentum as they had last year. It's a different team.
Well, I think they'd have to be extremely worried about the kicking game going against the Argonauts in that Eastern semifinal. Second down, and the pass goes well wide of Larry Willis.
Norman's pass intended for Willis. It'll be third down. There's about 6 yards to go.
Pat Brady in his 4th year out of Western being attended to. Got a hurt finger, Lee.
Yeah, and that's important for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, because he's the guy that does all the snapping on third down punts and field goals.
That one off the side of Harper's foot. No return possibility for Jeff Treflin.
38 yards on the boot by
Into the fourth quarter with 13:38 to play. The Tiger Cats behind by a touchdown to Calgary. Now Porras moved the football team early in the game. 2 very impressive drives for touchdowns.
They've struggled here in the second half a little bit, and I think it's the inability of the running game that's kind of hurt them a little bit. They've had some situations where they've been 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, and, you'd like to be able to pick it up on the ground. They just haven't been able to do so.
Gerald Harris has not been able to get the job done, and he has not scared the Stampeders.
Well, it's not entirely his fault.
Porras down. Quincy Williams. First sack of the night for the Stamps.
Quincy, in his 10th game of the season, comes up with his 5th sack of the year. Of course, he's playing tonight because Harold Hallman could not answer the bell, but they are starting to get some pressure on Tom Porras, and that offensive line of the Hamilton Tiger Cats tonight, who ranked 2nd in the league with only 50 quarterback sacks coming in tonight, really now in the 3rd and 4th quarters has not done a great job.
2nd and 17. Porras has to throw. Picked off. Another interception for the Stampeders. Larry Hogue. And Hogue gets inside the 15. Stampeders at one stage trailed by 11.
John, it certainly seems fitting that Larry Hogue should get an interception tonight. It's his 2nd of the season, but he's had 3 key knockdowns, one in the end zone that saved the touchdown, and now in his own coverage, he reads it perfectly. Second time that when he's in his zone, he's been able to break onto the football. One time he knocked it down. Now he gets the interception, and boy, the Stampeders have really taken control of this football game.
The defense coming up with a big play to set up Calgary with a first down at the Ticat 12. Gary Allen, sweep right, end run, touchdown. No flags. Third TD of the night for Gary Allen. An enthusiastic crowd of 26,000 in Calgary tonight.
Watch the block by 61, Tom Spallettini. He absolutely wipes out number 39, Ed Jadavakis. They seal off the inside once again, and Gary Allen, who's just having a super evening offensively, he's been the key for them. Gets into the end zone, so the Larry Hogue touchdown or interception sets up the Gary Allen touchdown.
J.T. Hay adds one more. The Stampeders rolling with a 2-touchdown lead on the Tiger Cats. 36-22. The Stampeders were down by 11 late in the first half.
Winning, he's up to 165 now, and the real difference in this game is Calgary's ability to run the football. Hamilton has not been able to. Calgary has. It takes the pressure off your passing game. Your offensive linemen can fire out on the football. They're not pass blocking all the time. And Gary Allen, well, you've had just a super effort tonight, and you should take Tim Petros and that offensive line out for dinner, because they've helped you with that great evening.
Along the ground, 124 yards. Through the air, another 41. 3 touchdowns on the night for Gary Allen, 165 yards in total. We're having a good time here tonight, Lee.
Really are, and Old Mo has really switched around in this game, hasn't it?
12 points for Calgary, third quarter. Another 7 early in the fourth. They're into the lead, 36-22, and playing sound, solid football. Jeff Treplin on the Ticab return. Room to the outside. Can he get out there? Reasonable return near the 41, brought down by Quincy Williams.
27 yards for Treplin.
Well, Rick Warman's still trying to work out that cramp in his right leg, but for a young quarterback to be able to have a running game to rely on makes such a difference for him. It takes a lot of the pressure off his play selection. Doesn't feel like he has to throw the football on every play to win the football game. Kenny Hobart, well, there you see the numbers on him, not overly impressive. And, you know, it's funny how Forrest can have such a hot hand, go cold, and have to make a quarterback switch.
On 1st and 10, Hobart swings it out to the right side for Harris. He might have grabbed a yard.
Well, the difference is Calgary really is making the plays when they have the opportunity offensively. Hamilton is not. Ralph Stroll, 67, had a chance to make a block out there. Couldn't get near the guy. And very little gain.
It is interesting about Porras because he did move the team in the early going. 2nd and 9, Ticats at the 41. Hobart on the money for Champion.
Hobart's pass complete to
First down near midfield. Stopped by Richie Hall, a gain of 16.
Nice catch by Tony Champion. That's the second time tonight that he has read the coverage very well from that wide receiving spot. Once you see the zone, you know you have a certain lane you're going to get into on that hook pattern. He found it. Pretty good throw by Kenny Hobart.
10:59 remaining, fourth quarter. Hobart likes to run. There was no room that time. Lamont Jeffers, the tackle for Calgary.
Jeffers call on tackle. Tonight's official attendance.
Well, he's always got a pretty good average running with the football.
Second and 11 facing the Tiger Cats right at midfield. They trail 36-22. Hobart unloads deep. And well over his intended receiver. Champion once more. Hogue was with Champion every step of the way.
Seemed like a predetermined play that he would just air it out for Tony Champion and throw it as far as he could. Champion, of course, once again locked up in great coverage by Larry Hogue, who's just had a super game. And well, I think if you look at one defensive guy who's really lifted this Calgary Stampeder club, it would be Larry Hogue with those knockdowns and the interception. Richie Hall, well, he's had a pretty good game too. Boy, no respect for these Hamilton kickers. He's only back about 30 yards.
Stapler this time. Gets a lot of action on the ball. It's not very deep. Hall to the 30. And that's where the Stampeders will begin with first down.
Richie Hall gets 5 yards on the return.
A 30-yard punt for Steve Stapler. Ticats down by 2 touchdowns to the Calgary Stampeders at McMahon. That's Derek Noble of the Tiger Cats in his first game in Canadian football. Up from the junior Tiger Cats. Hit 2 field goals early, very short ones. And missed a couple shortly after that, a little longer range.
John, I don't know the physical status of Paul Osbaldiston at this date, but they really have to try and find someone that can do a job for them next week.
Rick Warman for the Stampeders on 1st and 10. Willis was the intended receiver. He got caught up. Tolbert was also in the area. Both receivers actually fell down.
Tolbert, the intended receiver on the play.
Tolbert needing 31 yards to crack the 1,000-yard plateau.
The Calgary Stampeder Football Club wishes to thank the sponsors of the
Rick Warman, 11 of 25 on the night. Now he's not even at 50%, 160 yards, but of course that running game has really bailed him out. 1 touchdown pass tonight for Rick Warman. That's to Gary Allen late in the second quarter.
2nd and 10, Calgary at the 30. Pressure on Warman now. He releases for Allen.
Warman's pass complete to Gary Allen.
Mike Robinson forcing Allen out. Warman down once more. He's getting pretty friendly with that front 4 of the Tiger Cats.
One of the unsung heroes of the Calgary Stampeders, of course, is number 57, Bob Foley, who I believe on at least 2 occasions has been the lineman of the week in the CFL this year. He is, of course, their nomination for Shenley Offensive Lineman. And Bob Foley, a great career, former Regina Junior Ram, played with both Saskatchewan and now, of course, finishing his career with the Stampeders.
Harper has another off the side of his foot. Treflin flips it out for Brown. And he's going the other way with yards to spare. Brown could go all the way. Has 1 man to beat, 1 man in front for the Tiger Cats. Les Brown, touchdown return on a short kick. A 77-yard touchdown for Les Brown.
Brown on the return.
They set it up pretty well, didn't they, Leif?
Well, usually, John, when you like to run a reverse, you're hoping to get a nice high towering punt where you can really set it up. Glenn Harper kind of shanks this thing, and, you know, it's tough to do the timing on a reverse, but fortunately for the reverse, he kicked it to the right guy. Treflin hands off to Les Brown. He gets a couple of great blocks, and then it's strictly his speed that allows him to go 77 yards for the touchdown. And, well, when you're struggling and you can get a play like that from your special team, you have a chance to get back in the ballgame.
77 yards. Noble, and the convert is good. The Ticats are back within a touchdown.
This is some football game.
36 to 29.
Well, old momentum's really taken a couple of turns tonight. Hamilton, of course, had it early. Calgary reestablished it. And Hamilton trying to fight their way back into this game. They trail by a converted touchdown. Plenty of time left on the clock, 8:48 after Les Brown. But you see Jeff Treflin fields the ball, heads up field, and you can throw a blanket over some of those Calgary punt covers. And that's some pretty good speed by Les Brown.
Good block by Keith Stanbury, 13 in there.
Keith Stanbury's had himself a pretty good night. The interception on a tip ball.
Ticats won the first quarter. The Stampeders won the second. And the third, it's even in the fourth. 36-29, Calgary in front of Hamilton.
That'll be interesting to see what Hamilton does when they do get the football back, if they'll stay with Kenny Hobart or Tom Porras. I'm a Tom Porras fan myself. You know, he had a bit of a cold hand in the third quarter, but I still think he's the guy that can lead them into the playoffs.
He may not be finished for the night, Tom Porras. Keeping warm on the sideline.
I'd get him back in there. Of course, it's just my opinion, but those are pretty good numbers. On the return, Ron Hopkins.
3 Tiger Cats bring him down. Mike Robinson is there, number 33.
Well, we talked about the rushing game of the Stampeders. They're the league leaders in that department. They've done a great job of it tonight. And boy, oh boy, with a little over 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, this is where they would really like to keep that running game going. And of course, I'm sure Hamilton, thinking that way too, would like to toughen their defensive front four up.
First and 10 Calgary from the 37. They lead by a touchdown, the Stampeders. Warman has been harassed all night, gets away from a couple. Skillman is after him now. He slides short of the line of scrimmage. Stanbury came up and finally forced Warman down.
Geez, I really don't understand the play selection. You know, you've had such success running the football. This is a perfect opportunity to try and grind a couple of first downs out on the ground, take some time off the clock, and yet Rick Warman elects to try and throw the football, although he will keep the clock running as he didn't go out of bounds. Maybe that's, you know, there are the numbers there. Not a good night, really, throwing the football.
A couple of interceptions, 1 touchdown.
Well, this is the situation you really don't want to find yourself in, trying to protect the lead, 2nd and long.
2nd and 12, Gary Allen. And the Ticats had him solved that time. Grover Covington, 77, led the way.
Well, it only took 4 quarters to figure that play out, that the defensive ends would have to get a little wider and try and force it back up inside. I mean, you can only fool Grover for so long. He took a wide lineup and cut it back inside. Hamilton's going to get the ball back.
Harper's last punt went back the other way for a touchdown, 77 yards. Standing at about the same point on the field. This one is blocked. The Tiger Cats have a chance to tie the game. Touchdown. Terry Laney got through to block Harper. 2nd block punt for a touchdown tonight. 1 each way.
Gotta be a Hamilton fan.
I don't imagine there are too many in Alberta. I think Laney might have blocked it himself.
I think you're right, John. It's a penalty flag on the play. Let's wait and see exactly how they sort this out.
Holding. Hamilton 78.
Oh, no.
That will not improve the blood pressure of head coach Ted Schmitz.
He can't believe it. The Tiger Cats found the end zone and had it taken away. Hey, we can see it here.
Great individual effort by number 37, Terry Lane. He makes the block, gets the great bounce, just like Vince Goldsmith did. And boy, the Ticats with some penalties tonight have really hurt themselves. That's about the 3rd major loss that they've had as a result of a penalty.
For 1,098 yards. That is also a Canadian Football League single-season record. Congratulations to Ron Hopkins of the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, he has to be a little frustrated at this point, you know, and you have to restrain him over there, but...
Not only do they lose the touchdown, but it is now 3rd and 1, so the Stampeders send their offensive unit out there once more. And they'll gamble on 3rd and 1. Warman straight ahead, no flags. He should have the first down.
Now, Ticats have certainly lost some big plays, 2 penalties tonight. Les Brown, interference, cost them an interception. Block punt, they lose. Larry Kaharick's fortunate. Better get the blocking scheme straightened out for that next Glenn Harper punt.
6:29 to play, 4th quarter. The Ticats within a touchdown. It looked like they had that touchdown, but it was called back. 1st and 10 Calgary. Gary Allen No, the fake to Allen. Warman over the middle, has Emmanuel Tolbert. And Tolbert is now over 1,000 yards in the season, I believe. Mike Robinson made the tackle on Tolbert. He needed 31. He got 29. Oh, no, he's 2 yards short.
John, you know, when you run a play action, the key is you're trying to hold and freeze a linebacker. And, boy, what a fake to Gary Allen. Look at that, get it back. He's up in the backfield. And, of course, that frees up Emmanuel Tolbert over the middle. Beautifully executed play. Gets a little bit of a block from Jay Christensen downfield. And nice 29-yard pickup. Couple of yards away for his 1,000-yard season.
5:34, fourth quarter. Stampeders inside the Ticat 40. Tolbert makes the catch.
So that should do it.
He's over by 2 now, according to Bobby Layden.
Well, that's a tremendous accomplishment when you think about it. 3 years in a row to have over 1,000 yards.
For whatever reason, he had a bit of a slow start. Tolbert this year.
The whole club had a slow start, and I think that affects everybody. But, you know, I mean, you talk about receivers, and are they consistent? Well, here's one that certainly is.
2nd and 6, Calgary at the Ticat 30. The big charge is on. Warman escapes to fire it. Intending it for Jay Christensen.
You know what? That's a pretty big play by Rick Warman to get that pass off, because had he been sacked there, that might have been out of J.T. Hay field goal range. Now goes back to the original line of scrimmage, which is about the 29.5-yard line, and certainly well within range for a J.T. Hay field goal. So he made a smart move getting that ball off. And this is a big 3 points, too.
A 7-point football game right now favoring Calgary at 36-29. 3 would make it just a little more difficult for the Ticats to come back. Hay is good. J.T. Hay right on the money. And Calgary improves to a 10-point advantage on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 39-29. TSN's Game of the Week going right down to the wire. Final regular season meeting of these two teams, Hamilton and Calgary, both getting set for the playoffs in their respective divisions. And the Stampeders looking pretty sharp tonight. They've battled back, but then so have the Tiger Cats. And that block kick for a touchdown for Hamilton would have made for a great finish.
Well, you're talking a 10-point swing right there.
The Stampeders would like to thank the Bay 66 CFR and the Calgary Herald for all.
Foley likes it in Calgary. He's a big old cowboy, isn't he?
That he is. But a 10-point swing really there. You know, you lose 7 on the touchdown. You give up 3 on the field goal.
First down, Tiger Cats. Champion makes the catch. And Hobart remaining at quarterback. 4:19 to play, fourth quarter. McGill at Bishops for the OQ FC Championship tomorrow.
Making a 10-yard game, but it is a first down at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it looked as though Kenny Hobart hit the top of Quincy Williams' helmet as he released that football. More often than not, you can break a finger so easily. Obviously, he didn't.
Hobart will take off. Just short of the first down, near midfield. Larry Hogue there to pin Hobart.
9 yards on the play.
McGill at Bishops. Who do you like in that one tomorrow, Leaf?
Well, I think you have to go with the Bishop Gators there. That will be seen on TSN. And Bruce Calder has a pretty good team at Bishops, and I think they would be the odds-on favorite to reach the Atlantic Bowl this year.
They're at home in Lennoxville. 2nd and 1. Costly play for the Tiger Cats.
Now,
Jackson had nowhere to go.
And Vince Goldsmith made a huge play. You know, you've got to anticipate that the defensive lineman will be slanting on a short yardage play like that. he was able to knife through, and Hamilton just has not made the big plays on second and short when they've needed to tonight. It's as simple as that. The offensive line has been whipped in certain situations by the Calgary defensive front, and here Vince Goldsmith, and I can only surmise that Lloyd Fairbanks would have to block on him, and someone missed it, and Hamilton has to give up the football.
3:06 to play, fourth quarter. The Tiger Cats 10 behind. The Calgary Stampeders at McMahon Stadium. Lots ahead. Stay with us. 10-point ball game. It's been a fun night at McMahon Stadium. Next time they fill this stadium late will be for the opening ceremonies at the Olympic Games.
It's been a beautiful day here in Calgary, but of course at this time of the year, regardless of how warm the days are, the nights are still pretty cool. And
looks like it might be cuddly and warm in the sleeping bag there.
I would think so now. Fans in Calgary always seem to have a good time with the music here and at the commercial timeouts, and it's kind of fun to watch them. And we thank the Calgary Stampeders for that plug. TSN very happy to be here tonight, bringing you the final game of our football season.
Ticats go gambling and come up short on 3rd down and 2. Steve Stapler looked like he might have been able to grab the first down, but Hopkins comes up to make the stop.
Ronnie Hopkins, the defensive nominee in the Shenley category for the Calgary Stampeders, who has really played well all year, leads the club with 6 interceptions, and now on a 3rd down gamble, Calgary Stampeders once again make the big play tonight. Kenny Hobart in, throws it on the swing pass to Steve Stapler, who was lined up as the punter, and didn't fool Hopkins for one bit. And boy, that is the difference in this game. Calgary has made the big plays. Hamilton has not been able to.
Stampeders 1st and 10. Ticat 53. Good fake to Allen. Warman sets up. Willis makes the catch. They rule he was inbounds. Larry Willis.
Rick Warman
supposed to be hurt. He looks pretty healthy to us.
He looks very healthy, and he's playing well, and then they're going to need him next week against the Edmonton Eskimos. Nice catch. You only need the 1 foot. Great play. But you know what the nice key on these plays? Rick Warman in the play action has really made some super fakes to hold the Hamilton linebackers, and when you can do that, your receivers get that extra step downfield to get in an open area, and Larry Willis did a good job. Pretty good day for him. 90 yards on 5 receptions.
Another first down. Warman over the middle and dead on target. Emmanuel Tolbert.
Well, E.T., as they call him, has not disappointed tonight. Over the 1,000-yard mark for the season and made some big catches. Had a little trouble early in the game when he coughed up one on the fumble. But Rick Warman, when he gets time to throw, is able to step up in the pocket nicely and deliver those strikes. 17 yards on the pickup.
2:41 to play, fourth quarter. First down, Calgary. Ticat 17. This is Petros. Look at this guy go. He's in the end zone. A flag is down, however. Little holding on number 23, Gary Allen, perhaps.
No question about it. He absolutely hog-tied Mike Robinson, the outside linebacker, and the referee saw it. Really negates a tremendous running effort by Tim Petros.
Fun to watch Petros when he gets ahead of steam, isn't it?
Well, Hamilton's penalties have really hurt. We don't get the call, but I wonder if the bottom of your screen to the right, if you can see 23 Gary Allen. It's not really there. That's Kari Lee Renko. But there's Gary Allen blocking on Mike Robinson, and he's got the hook on him, and that's what they call. Unfortunate for Tim Petros.
1st and 20, Stampeders. Tolbert can't hang on. He might have been a little tied up there.
Well, I think what Rick Warman should be really concerned about at this stage is don't throw the interception. Don't make a bad play here. You're in JTA field goal range and ahead by 10 points. If they can get that 13 points, that would pretty much do it.
Well, 13 points with 2:24 remaining would force the Tiger Cats into 2 touchdowns for the win, which would be a little difficult. 2nd and 20. Gary Allen makes the catch short of the first down.
Well, he did the smart thing. He picked up a few extra yards. He threw the safe pass to his running back, a high percentage pass, and gets himself in a good shape to bring on J.T. Hay, and I'm sure Larry Kuharek would agree with that call.
Now, Hay, though, has been more effective a little further away on the night. He's missed a couple of short ones. He doesn't miss often, though.
Oh, he's pretty good when the money's on the line.
Three of 6 on the night, as long as 45. 2:06 to play, fourth quarter. Stampeders lead by 10. Now they lead by 13. Look back to the second quarter when the Stampeders were trailing by 11 and got within 4 points at halftime.
John, you know, you always look at maybe 1 or 2 plays in a game that decide the outcome of the game, and I honestly believe it was that drive late in the second quarter, as you mentioned, culminating with the Gary Allen touchdown reception, got the Stampeders back into the game, reestablished or puts the momentum back on their side, and they never looked back.
Ticats 1st and 10, 35. Hobart at quarterback. Jeff Johnson in at the running back spot for the Tiger Cats. He's as effective as anyone with that 5-yard gain.
One, we haven't seen Rocky DiPietro play too much or at all in the second half here, and just wondering if he is injured or they're deciding to give him a bit of a rest, save him for that big game in Toronto next week.
Johnson once more, and he gets the first down. Stopped by Bernie Morrison.
Bernie Morrison on the tackle, but it is a Hamilton first down.
1:47. That's the time remaining in the fourth quarter. Hobart's rolling right. He'll carry himself.
Hobart
slides at the 54 of the Stampeders. Short of the first down.
Well, it's really academic. I think what Kenny should try and be trying to do is to get out of bounds and stop that clock. Of course, clock will run when the referee blows his whistle.
Almost grabbed by Bernie Morrison on the rebound. Chapdelaine, the intended receiver, had it bounce away, and Morrison had a chance at it. Well, the Calgary Stampeders, Edmonton Eskimos at Commonwealth Stadium next weekend in the Western semifinal. The Stampeders are going to take a little momentum from this one into that game. Third and 3, Ticats go gunning for it anyway. Hobart on a draw has the first down.
Hobart keeps it himself on third down and rambles for 10.
42-29. Stampeders in front of the Tiger Cats. First down, Hamilton. Hobart has a strike. Ticats will get a touchdown. Almost. Touchdown saving tackle on Jacques Chapdelaine.
What a great catch he made coming over the middle. You know, it's a tough area to catch the football. Usually you're going to take a pretty good hit when you come through there, but Jacques Chapdelaine fearless as he comes through the middle and makes a great catch on the post pattern. That's a super throw by Kenny Hobart. Chapdelaine.
Richie Hall saves the touchdown.
Lamont Jeffers tries to cut underneath.
Ticats get one now. No flags down. Stapler.
Steve Stapler with his 13th touchdown of the year, and well, you know, there's a minute and 11 left after this touchdown reception, and stranger things have happened. Good throw by Kenny Hobart.
Well, the Tiger Cats not quite finished yet. Good drive by Hobart. Gets Hamilton into the end zone once more. And the convert good by Derek Noble.
You know, John, with that touchdown reception by Steve Stapler, his total yardage for the season, 1528. Brian Kelly with 1516, so he's ahead of Brian Kelly by 12. I think on Sunday afternoon. Brian Kelly will not have any trouble surpassing that.
A lot of yards in one season, isn't it, when you think about 1,500 yards receiving?
A lot of guys have had some good years receiving. James Murphy, Jim Sandusky, some great receivers in this league, but the Hamilton Ticats only trail by 6 with 1 minute and 11 remaining now. What do you do? Onside or kick it deep and try and hold them? It's always an interesting call to make.
1:11 to play, a 6-point difference.
I know the Calgary Stampeders are anticipating a short kickoff. They've got a team in there that is comprised of fellows that are used to handling the football. They've got 10 of them up front, only 2 guys deep.
With a run of Pfeiffer. Please report to the Stampeder Administration Office immediately.
Well, Derek Noble
Rod Pfeiffer to the Stampeder
will kick off.
Administration Office.
Stampeders only have 11 guys out on the field. They're playing a man short.
Noble goes deep. Ticats will try and pin the Stampeders in their own zone and get a hold of the ball once more. Gary Allen on the return out across the 30 to the 32.
But of course, defensively, your strategy now is you've got to play the Stampeders as tight as you can. Anticipate the run, try and stuff it, and stop them in 2 downs. Take your time out when Glenn Harper has to come in to punt, and hope you can get it back and do something with your offense.
1:08 to play. 6 points between the Stampeders and the Tiger Cats. Calgary in the lead with a first down at the 32. Gary Allen slashes off left tackle for close to 4.
Pick up of about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Johnny Lewis led the tacklers for Hamilton, number 69. They mark it a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. 1:03 to play.
Yeah, and he should take full advantage of the time on the clock. He's got about 14 seconds left to put it in play. He should let it try and make that snap around the 2-second mark if he possibly can.
Warman has time to throw and has a completion. Jake Christensen. So that could about do it for the old Tiger Cats.
What a huge play that was. You know, an incomplete pass stops the clock and really gives Hamilton a good opportunity. But Jake Christensen, that was not an easy catch to make. He had Keith Stanbury all over him, and he had to go down low, and Rick Warman put it in a pretty good spot. And Larry's still not, he's still awfully concerned.
32 seconds on the clock. Stampeders with a first down, lead it by 6. Gary Allen. 23 seconds remaining.
Gary Allen.
That blocked punt
for about 3 yards
by the Tiger Cats that went for a touchdown and was called back.
No question, that's the story of the game right now. And the Hamilton penalties really have played a huge part in the outcome of this football game as they take their time out, stop the clock. Well, a situation now where you know that Calgary will just down the football. They don't have to make the first down. There's only 23 seconds left. Rick Warman can just take the snap from center and kneel down a couple of times, run the clock out, and really no chance of Hamilton being able to strip the football away and create a fumble. And
Tiger Cats,
unless they do something absolutely insane, the Stampeders should have no trouble killing the clock.
This is 2nd and 6, ball at the 51. 23 seconds to play. Stampeders holding a 6-point advantage. Tim Petro straight ahead. He's short of the first down, so they may have to kick now. Or they just try and remain.
I would not kick
the clock. They can't.
John, I wouldn't kick the football at all. There's 21 seconds left on the clock. You've got 20 to put it into play. If you can snap it at the 2 1-second mark, there should be no problem to run the clock out, and that's exactly what Larry Kaharick's going to do. You know, I give him a lot of credit. A lot of coaches get excited and kind of lose what's happening on the football field, but not Larry Kaharick. He's always focused on exactly what he has to do and what his team has to do, and made a good decision right here.
Time has run out on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Last play of the game, Warman goes down. No flags anywhere around. And the Calgary Stampeders come back and then hang on for a 6-point victory over the Tiger Cats.
Well, the Stampeders finished with a record of 10-8 this year, and who would have believed it about 6 games into the season? Give them a lot of credit.
Lost 6 games in a row at one point.
Absolutely.
Larry Kuharek finishes the season with an 8-2 mark. 8 wins, 2 losses since taking over the Stampeders. Some final numbers for you to look at there. Turnovers in the end, hurting the Tiger Cats just a little bit more. Ted Schmidt's likely still wondering about the 1 turnover that might have gone his way. The blocked kick recovered in the end zone by the Tiger Cats, but it was called back. So the Stampeders finish on a winning note and head to Edmonton with a positive feeling for next weekend's Western semifinal.